All right, Jamie, you are up. CJ Stroud, you're calling bust proof. It's a pretty good case. Dave, we struggled with the Dak Prescott argument, the devil's advocate. Let's make a bust case for CJ Stroud.
I will give you two stats that made me raise my eyebrows about Stroud last year. He had a 58.7% completion rate on third downs, 21st among qualifying quarterbacks, 62.3% completion rate on third downs in weeks 1 through 12. That was before Tank Dell got hurt. That still seems better, but it was only 15th among qualifying quarterbacks. Those two numbers, look, I know that there's other numbers that can be associated with third down stats that can overcome that, but I wonder if CJ Stroud, if he doesn't get better in those crunch situations, does that impact his upside? Does that make him less of a quarterback that can get to 25 fantasy points per game versus the 21.5 that he had last year? And what's going to happen when Houston gets inside the 5? It's not Devin Singletary and Dameon Pierce. It's Joe Mixon. And Mixon is actually a decent running back in that situation. They just paid him in Houston. The offensive line will be better. They might be more encouraged to be a little more run-centric when they're inside the 5 versus trusting CJ Stroud. So there's an upside concern, even though he's got all these awesome wide receivers, and there's also a concern about just how many touchdowns he'll have the opportunity to throw.
Yeah, I think to call him bust-proof is a little bit of a leap of faith because his rookie season and Baker Mayfield's rookie season actually kind of similar. Completion percentage was nearly identical. And Dave, you talked about his third down completion percentage. Stroud's completion percentage in general was just bad. It was a 63.9%. But yeah, Mayfield was on pace for about about 50 fewer yards, but Mayfield was on pace for 35 touchdown passes. Stroud 26. Stroud threw barely any interceptions though. By the way, that's just in their starts, just like 17 game pace based on their starts. Yeah, so I think there's just a little uncertainty because he's only had 1 year in the league. He's not a big rushing threat. There's only been 3 quarterbacks over the last 5 years that have finished as a top 5 quarterback with fewer than 200 rushing yards. They all threw 41 or more touchdown passes. So it is hard to be top 5 with fewer than 200 rushing yards. That's what he was on pace for last year. So he's got to do something he's never done before. He's got to take that step, Jamie. I guess I wouldn't quite say Stroud is bust proof because it's just still a little unproven.
He did what he did last year as a rookie behind a makeshift offensive line with losing one of his best wide receivers toward the back end of the season. And now he gets that guy back, plus Stephon Diggs, plus an offensive line that should be better, plus a running back that should be more productive. One of the best schedules you'll find in the NFL. It sets up magically for him. So, I mean, I don't care if he's bust-proof or not. He's awesome.
Yeah, no, but the problem is, I'm looking at his ADP on NFC.
He's going to get overdrafted.
4th, right? That's a bust case, is that he's just going to go too high.
I mean, again, you can make the case with a lot of these guys that they're going to go too high.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of these guys, meaning the guys
if we're factoring in ADP, then a lot of these players shouldn't be discussed as bust-proof.
So what is too high for CJ Stroud? Is round 4 too high?
How about, let's just do QB blank, not round.
I mean, to say QB4 versus QB5, I don't know if that's such a huge stretch. I wouldn't take him as QB4, but
this is probably 4 point per passing touchdown though, because it's Allen, Hurts, Mahomes, Stroud, Jackson, Richardson.
Yeah, I wouldn't draft him there, but again, it's one spot difference from where I have him.
In 4 point, you'd have him.
No. But yes, right. In 4 point, that's too high.
Right.
Agreed.
No, I wouldn't be throwing a fit if it were 6 point, but I think it's probably.
But what's the penalty for interceptions? Because that matters for him.
That's another thing. Like, can we really expect him to have this good of an interception?
Yeah, I think that's his profile. I think it's almost like Aaron Rodgers, where he's not going to take a lot of chances, which is going to hurt his ceiling, but is also going to help his floor.
What do you think the track record is for rookie first-round quarterbacks that had a good first season in their second season? What do you think they do in that second season?
Baker Mayfield bad, Justin Herbert great, Joe Burrow very good.
Because I'm doing a study for our magazine on rookie quarterbacks because there's so many interesting ones coming into the league this year.
Kyler Murray, great.
10 first-round quarterbacks out of 32 in the last decade that were good as a rookie, 20-plus fantasy points per game and 6 point. Went on to their second year, 8 of the 10 had an even better, not necessarily better year, but at least 20 and a half fantasy points per game. 5 of them were at least 23 points per game. There's a good track record of if you show that you're good as a rookie, you can keep it up. And I think that helps CJ Stroud. My completion rate stats about Stroud, they're true, but I think Diggs was added to help those stats. I think he's going to be the money down target over the middle of the field. And middle of the field, I should have mentioned this too, was not kind to CJ Stroud last year. I think that Diggs is there to help in the middle of the field, win on third downs. That's on top of what Tank Dell and Nico Collins can do. I agree. I think he's pretty bust proof. I think he's a good quarterback to get. Just don't reach for him on draft day.
Keeping Bobby Slow and keeping Dalton Schultz too.